Entering the Mayo Experience.
That Mayo Experience. That Mayo Experience. That Mayo Experience. Experience.
Day one of the President's Cup. Geoff, were you scared of the camera being over there?
I was itching, scratching my head, and I thought I was like gonna be in your shot like the old fantasy box days where
That's true.
I used to get in your shot just by like a body movement.
That's true. Like, we're all crammed into this room. Byron's here, Kenny's here, Jeff's here. In waiting, Tambo and Cust are in the green room to talk about day one of the President's Cup. If you tell Cust that there's like burgers in here, he might barge through that door.
You told him there's a scallop soup in here, he'd barge through the door.
Yeah, that's true.
Can I backstory Cust with the burgers?
Yeah.
He's actually really annoying. He got a text from Hustler that there's hamburgers in the media tent, sliders, okay, whatever. We have this great setup on the 9th hole.
Thanks, Pat.
Thanks, Pat. Good eye, spotted it. We crushed it, elevated, had great view. Perfect. There's only 5 matches. Like, we're in this great spot. We're obviously going to watch everything come through. For about 2 matches, Cust is pacing. Like, the area we're in, like, they might run out of burgers. What if they run out of burgers? Like, we got to go for burgers. And I'm like, I don't care about burgers. If they run out of burgers, I'll buy lunch anyways. Like, you can't buy lunch. There's free lunch. How could you buy lunch? It was ridiculous. He's just... Yeah, so that's really the backstory. And to finish it, just to say about 3 hours later, when I went back to the media tent at some point, I saw Kenny and Tambo eating burgers. So do you think they were ever running out of freaking sliders? No. But yeah, that's, I guess, my intro to President's Cup day one with a 5-0 bloodbath.
What was I going to say, with the internationals are now 14-1 underdogs, minus 3,300 for the Americans. Somehow, Byron, you thought this was shocking. With your pouty attitude tonight.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, you didn't see this coming?
Driving home with this guy, you'd have thought like his Jets just lost as a 10-point favorite.
It felt that way because we were so close, but we got blown out. Like, we lost by like 3 one-up matches, which is disgusting to think about. We were so close, but yet someone else left with our lady at the bar. And yeah, we all sit. I don't know how, like, I can't even speak into a microphone. I don't think the Canadians fans could do it right now if they wanted to. But
hey, we're Canadian fans. We're sitting right here talking directionally into the directional mic.
I don't know what you want me to. I feel like I'm on Joe Rogan right now, just like staring at this thing in front of me. But it was disappointing. It was sad. I felt like we had it, but at some point we just never got momentum going today.
I mean, to say we had it is like a bit of a stretch. There were opportunities in many of the matches to find that point. I'm sure if you watched a lot of it, being out there, you actually don't see. I'm sure there's more missed putts that I didn't even see. I'm sure those half points, maybe even full points, were out there. But the margin of error is so small for the internationals against that much talent that there's no wiggle room to miss apparently what they missed. Yeah, I really wasn't invested in this week because I didn't even care for a point spread. Like, this was always probable in a range of outcomes to me.
Yeah, you got on TV.
Yeah, I did get on TV. I was one of the few international fans actually cheering for Tom Kim and Sung Jae Im. It was a little weird out there. Tom wasn't wrong when he said that he wanted the fans to be louder. Like, I would be there, and I would. Yeah, well, that's true.
Play better.
Yeah, I got you. I understand that. But still, like, at least support your team. Like, when they're walking through to the next hole, like, literally, I was the only person saying, let's go, do whatever. The highlights of my day. I have 3 highlights today. All right? So the first one is seeing Sung Jae's wife. Fucking dime. Like, I don't even like Korean women. And I was like, who the fuck is that? And then some dude next to me was like, that's Sung Jae's wife? I was like, what? That's Sung Jae's wife? No wonder he sucks fucking ass now. He's banging that shit every day. She was incredible. Number 2, highlight of the day. For some reason, in Montreal, all the female police officers are fucking hot. Like, I don't understand it. It's not like 1 or 2. It's like every single. I want to sing that Lil Wayne song, like Mrs. Officer, like wee 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 wee. I like this shit is fucking incredible. Okay. Highlight number 3 was the spread in the media tent. The food was fucking good. No highlights from the fucking golf course. That's the problem I had.
Saw great shots. There were great shots. The internationals hung tough
couldn't
in
make a
a lot of
fucking putt.
matches. For me, like the weather was beautiful. The golf was very competitive despite the final score being lopsided. And I only bet the Bez match. So I'm really annoyed because he left so many putts out there. They're not even gotten the push. But all of our international leading score bets
We're tied for the lead.
So,
right now,
you know, they're all-
Van An, he's the leader in international points with 0.
I got Ann and Pendrith, and they're both playing tomorrow, and they're tied for the lead. And
And did play the best of anyone. He had the best ball striking on the go.
I don't know. Bez, the last 3-4 holes, I think that's the reason why he's actually playing because like he was hitting everything like within 10 feet and just couldn't make the putt.
I guess they figured
and
he'll
now
hit
since
putts tomorrow.
Now since he doesn't have to make the putt, Jason Day can try to make the putt.
Okay, Jason Day shouldn't be playing, by the way. Jason Day got to see more of the course than any of us, and we were walking around the entire time. He was left, he was right, he was terrible.
He found a way.
It seems like there were lost opportunities because they should have been able to win that Bez Pendrith match. And by listening, the radio was like angering. Byron wanted to fight the guys on PGA Tour radio as we're coming back.
It was the first time Paul had ever heard PGA Tour radio. Big fan.
Great. I'm a big, yeah.
I listen to it all the time.
But they made it like Morikawa and Thiegs were horrible, and it is like incredibly how poor Minwoo and Scott must have played to not find anything.
He's got his first
there.
birdie on 18.
Yeah, but as Morikawa pointed out, he just made a bunch of bombs. When Thigawa had birdie putts, he just
Okay,
picked it up
yeah.
and walked off the green.
So, you know, it's there's something, but you can rant about Bez, and that's important to you, but I think it's going to be a big storyline, and I'm not really here to defend it for a moment. The crowd, because there are logistical issues.
Here's the
But you
crowd.
have to get the crowd going. You have to put color on the board.
Not even that. 70% of the crowd was pro-America. That was the difference.
that was the problem.
Like everyone here is an American fan.
When
or
Tom Kim-
like you guys said, or Tambo said, people were just following Scotty around.
That's
Yeah.
true.
It was like
it was
Tiger
like
up there.
you did get those vibes, and the Canadian golf fan, we just like American. There was no, I don't know, it wasn't loud enough, I guess, but I don't know. The Canadian golf fan isn't.
Pendrith made that bomb, and people were into Pendrith. The crowd was into Pendrith, and that was like the only guy on the international team they cared about.
But I would argue, I use the college football analogy. When you're the big underdog and you are at home, if you let the other team get up 10-14 nothing, like everyone comes to the game excited and ready to go, and you got to put flags on the board, color on the board for like the crowd to get momentum, and they couldn't. So I don't think it's just the crowd, although a Canadian golf crowd is not like they have these visions of what goes on at the rink with a bunch of goobers.
Like,
Like-
that's what I don't understand. Y'all get hype as shit for fucking hockey. Why don't you just come out here and get fucking hype?
Yeah,
Like
that's
literally.
what-
Like I was trying to fucking hype up these dudes and like the people around me were like, good job, eh? And then they were like happy that I was doing it, but they wouldn't fucking join me in trying to get these guys up.
The Ryder Cup, it's there. You can't, like, game one of a round robin of the World Junior Championships versus Belarus. People get worked up for. I can't
Yeah, they
explain it.
Yeah.
They
Well, they're
care.
probably like 12 beers deep too in Canada. And the thing is, there was no lines in the beer. There was no alcohol being served for some reason. Like I didn't see anybody
it's a
drunk.
Thursday
get
at 11
drunk.
o'clock.
it's a
Maybe
Thursday at
this
11
event
o'clock.
should start on the like. I don't know. I'm not saying it should. I now feel like we're just making excuses because
the
they
Americans
made so
played.
many
This is what we
putts,
talked about
and-
coming into this. The Americans had 8 of the best 9 players. Like this is what happens.
No, but when Tom Kim tells you to like hype up, all right, and he's hyping the crowd up to keep going through
was
his
on
swing.
one. This was on
on
one.
the first goddamn tee box of the day. His first swing, and he's telling you, "I want noise my entire swing." And the crowd stops on his downswing.
Well, maybe
No.
don't take 4 minutes
Yeah.
to hit the ball.
But he never took that
were-
long
they were
on
at
the first
least
tee.
hold
No,
on,
it's a
behind.
drive, okay? It's not
They were
like...
at least 2 holes behind
But
when
still,
we were following.
seriously.
The people
then
in front of
Mackenzie
them.
Hughes tries to come out and shotgun a beer,
That was-
and he takes forever to open the goddamn thing.
Hey, at least he did
chugs
it.
like half of it and spills the rest.
He
It was
did.
just
Tom
pathetic
Kim-
in general. It was
Tom,
just
it's
not
a
good.
variable because it's not like it's like the crowd wasn't crazy enough. He got them going, and then he took forever to hit a ball.
Yeah.
And then I guess everyone felt, okay, I'll stop cheering now. Not everyone else will stop cheering now. But it seemed like everyone else decided to stop cheering at the exact same time in the downswing of his backswing on the first
downswing.
hole.
That was when we knew it was,
actually
like,
pretty
over.
freaking
The
hilarious.
problem I had with the fans was like whenever I would go crazy and say some wild shit. I mean, I wasn't being disrespectful, but I was really cheering on the two Koreans like the whole fucking time. They would like give me dap, right?
Yeah.
Like, and they would be like, "Hey, good job." I'd be like, "Okay." Like, why isn't anyone else trying to go out there and help these guys? Give them a little bit of fucking juice, right? Because they need it. What Tom did was get too hype early. And then he lost it on the back, and then they lost 2 out of the last 3 holes. It was 1 up until 14 or some shit like that.
I saw so many great golf shots today. Now, there's a vibe on Twitter that it had like a almost Valhalla vibe. There were too many birdies. Maybe the course was really soft.
It was really
They got
soft.
the rain. They were playing lift clean in place.
It was a lot
and
firmer
that just
yesterday.
led to way more birdies, which led to a different sort of just gameplay, I guess. But as you can see, I got some sun because I thought it was going to be an overcast day, and I didn't
You were
bring a hat.
I will talk to Tim about it, but like you were searching for sunscreen.
I wasn't whatever. I've got stories about Tim. He's got stories about me.
Jeff
It's okay.
Jeff wanted to buy a hat in the media tent, but he didn't want to buy it, and so he took it, then hid it behind all the kids' hats so he could come back later.
The true story there is I already got a hat yesterday. I figured I'll just go get another hat because I don't want to get sunburnt. And I went there and I picked my hat. And then the line was huge, and the guy's like, the internet's down, so we can't process transactions. I'm like, I'm not waiting in that. I don't care enough. So I'm like, well, I don't want them to sell out of this hat because I really like this hat. So I hit it, like, I put it like the 8th hat, went to, I don't know, a rack of hats near the cash register. I just like hit it like 8 hats deep in a row. So I don't know. That's fine. Is that weird? I don't think that's weird.
Before you guys go, I mean, listen, it's not like I was going to get up early and go to the first tee. I didn't care that much, but you guys did. And you guys said it was pretty special.
Yes, you got to do that at least once. It was nice being up in that first tee and cheering and seeing all the people in the crowd get hyped. That's when the crowd actually was hyped. So it was a lot of fun doing
Until
that.
Tom Quinn
And then I'm going to do it again probably tomorrow because they don't tee off till 1:30, and I might get up in time to do that. Speaking of, I'm gonna need.
damn it,
Here's the thing. I'm gonna take off because I need some more crown roll. I'm gonna bring Tim in. Internationals win tomorrow 4-1.
Grab me a Corona on that one. Thank you.
I'm a piece
and
out.
yeah, and
You're going to peace out. You got a case of the SADS, pal. You need to get going.
yeah.
You need to get hyped again.
If there's enough people to stick around, I will.
No. You get just to make sure the Cust doesn't like slam the door and break the camera.
Bye, Byron.
They should have, if they could have held the line at all today, tomorrow the crowd, I mean, now it's such a blowout, I don't know what the crowd would be, but hearing the event doesn't start till 1 o'clock tomorrow, Pat, the crowd tomorrow will be fired up. Like a Friday.
You know what they should
later.
have done? I think, come on, and you're. A few years back, the irons were the best part of my golf game. But after a swing change about 2.5 years ago, my driver's an absolute weapon at this point, but all of a sudden I couldn't hit my long irons, and even some of my short irons just were not going on the same trajectory that I always wanted them to, or at least that they used to do. So when I heard how the new PXG Black Ops irons can dramatically improve my game, of course I had to give them a try. Anything to improve my golf game. So I called up PXG and I got my current irons and I took the PXG Irons Challenge and it has been amazing. The consistency off the club face is unparalleled to any club that I have ever used. Best thing about these irons is because I feel so comfortable that I'm gonna hit the sweet spot on them, I can control the club face, the high, the low, the cut, the draw, no problem. And the new PXG Black Ops irons are the game improvement missile launchers that are going to give you explosive distance, and it's going to feel softer than a baby bunny. The new Black Ops irons are incredibly easy to hit and maximize performance and fun, because getting better is fun. Oh, and they're only $149.99 a stick. That's a great price for a great golf iron. Take the PXG Irons Challenge. It's a ton of fun, and if PXG's new Black Ops irons don't,
outperform your current irons by delivering either more distance or tighter dispersion, that means better accuracy, during your fitting, you'll get a $100 MasterCard rewards card. Hurry! This offer ends October 7th. Book your fitting today at pxg.com. That's pxg.com. Passion, drive, patience. The formula for winning championships is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Supercharger, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want. It's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only, exclusions apply.
Oh yeah, so Corona here. So sit in the middle. Tambo's on the outside. What they should have done for the first tee was, I think they tried to protect the Canadians because they weren't the best players, but the crowds just want to see the Canadian, and like you were saying, and Scotty Scheffler.
They love Scotty.
The crowd liked the Canadian players, and they liked Scotty Scheffler. Those are the only people anyone cared about.
They love Scotty. It was actually a Tiger effect. We kept talking about it, but Henley.
You got to go close to the mic with these ones.
Henley couldn't even get in his tee into the ground, and they were already moving on to the next thing. It was insane. But every single time, the exact same thing. The organizers were like, "Get back here! He's still got a hit." So the Scotty Scheffler love was very heavy.
How were the burgers?
The burgers were not as good as I had hoped. I got a message while we were watching some of the golf. Like, they've got sliders out in the craft service tent. And naturally, I got very excited that there were burgers. So then I began to mention to people that there were burgers, and there seemed to be no urgency from anybody else. So I continued to mention, by the way, there's burgers. And I don't know how long they'll last, because maybe they'll go. People are like, okay, well, we'll get there later. It's like, well, later might mean there's none left. And then, we're waiting. The last group comes up 9, and they both hit their putts to, 4 feet. So it's going to be a pushed hole. So, let's beat the rush. Let's get to the crafts. And, again, it was just people were stuck to...
What rush?
I was concerned that people knew that there were sliders. They would be gone.
Who's people? Other media? That's 2%, 1% of on
When
property.
I was at the Super Bowl, food went quickly. And so this is the frame of reference that I was concerned.
By the way, I went in there. There was literally 3 people in the media center getting sliders. So there was no
3
chance.
hours later.
Later, way later than Tim.
There was no
we
chance.
were in would you agree we had a great setup on 9?
Yes, I do agree.
And why would we leave our setup before there's only 5
I'm
matches?
not saying we needed to go right away.
There were burgers, Jeff.
I'm not saying we had, but once it was clear the last group was through, and that was a push. That hole was done. Why are we waiting? Why tempt fate like that?
Okay, here's the thing. I was already gone, walked back and got food. Why couldn't you just leave to go get it? Because
I don't know if I'd find my way there.
he couldn't find his way back. It was literally next door.
I didn't know exactly where I was, and then what if I got separated?
Well, you didn't have a map like Jeff.
Well, no, Jeff has in here somewhere. Jeff has a map.
I don't know if a map helps, Jeff. But when I've been driving with him all week, he's got his phone in the middle of Montreal traffic. Kenny's like, dude, can I just take that from you? We're hitting the median.
Kenny was also sad after the golf. Kenny's been a good navigator.
Yes.
But he was sad after the golf, doing his own thing, freaking out about things that were still.
Do we want to talk about your hat?
Well, we did kind of talk about my hat. So at some point, yeah, I'm in a town. I'm in the signs are in French. I only know how to ask to go to the washroom because that's all I needed to do in high school was get out of the classroom.
Est-ce que je peux aller aux toilettes, s'il vous plaît?
So I don't know what the signs say, and I'm navigating and driving in a new place. So.
Did you mention the fact that you brought a whole trunk full of hats, and on both occasions this week you worn the wrong hat?
I have made 2. Yesterday was freezing, and I didn't bring my toque that I packed. And then today was boiling, and I didn't bring one of the 4 hats plus the hat I bought. And then I was still looking for a hat, and I've already explained my incident at the fan shop. So we don't need to do that. But you... Like you losing your mind.
I was not losing my mind. I was concerned, but and no one else seemed to have the level of concern.
But you also think you have to get plus EV. I mentioned that there are some really fun, popular food trucks or things we could great steak sandwich at the Keg place, and he does not care. there's a free slider, and he, God forbid, will have to like go
Well,
to
there's free,
something
but
he
there's
would
free
like.
stuff.
He actually said the ones might not have cheese. He didn't want to miss the ones that could have cheese. That's what it came down to.
I was excited and then concerned and then very concerned because no one else had the sense of urgency that I had.
program of concern and
There's probably
anxiety.
still sliders right now for
Yes,
people
there definitely
filing
is.
their evening
I
stories.
concede that my anxieties were not well founded.
You probably saw more golf than anyone today.
I did. It was actually excellent. I was a little bit more, again, I thought, could it be 3-2 today? Last night we were sitting around
It
here.
could have been.
Making stuff up. Yes, today it actually could have been, but I said it to Jeff on the ride home, the scary ride home, taking those exits and whatnot, but just saying, I said to
Hold
Jeff.
on. Overall, though,
has to get
overall,
in.
I think I've been pretty good.
Oh, I
Did you
appreciate
hit
the drive.
No,
Did
not
you
appreciating
hit any
like
curbs today?
No.
no. I was trying to make
It was a curb yesterday.
Yeah, what's a curb?
We saw it.
Yeah.
It wasn't a real curb.
It wasn't a fake curb. It was a real curb.
No, but it was like making a U-turn type
Okay,
space.
so they get where I'm coming from. But all I was gonna say is that even on the ride home, I said, it felt like it could be 3-2. It still didn't. When you were out there, it was like every shot they made, you saw it come down the stretch. Xander, Thigala, same thing. Every time we had a good shot, they
Had a
had
better one.
just as good or better. They were definitely better. 5-0 is what we got. 4-1 is what I thought it could have been. Like it all worked out the way I kind of expected.
I don't know if I expected this. Tim did,
You
so
called
he
it.
gets credit. But
He also called all ties in every match.
I just thought that would be an interesting wager because you only need to hit one for it to turn.
No, you lost all your money.
And I give props to all of our viewers or listeners who did something this week that I didn't do for some weird reason, and that's like get a new household appliance.
Yeah, the appliance
Because
money did come in.
there was always an appliance to be won against the internationals at this moment of golf, and I didn't. I encouraged others to do it. According to our mentions, it seems like people
Did it?
might already be might be on Sears.com tonight
Sears
or
doesn't
something.
exist.
Oh, you don't get the Sears wish book every
No.
Christmas
What's the
anymore?
place?
Where do you buy
What was the
appliances
place
now?
downstairs you
I
could
think
go
people
to?
buy
Home
Home
Depot
Depot
and-
or Staples.
The clearance
Okay,
center.
yeah.
What's
Best
the clearance
Buy.
center?
The Sears Clearance Center? You
Oh,
don't
the
know
only
what it
thing
is?
that's not there anymore.
I know, but you would know what
Oh,
it
I
is.
knew what
though.
it was. They had the bargain basement. I knew all about that
That's
stuff.
right up his alley.
I mean, to,
great.
To my point earlier and to what Tambo just said, like in getting out there watching the golf, I feel like I saw so many great shots. And to get a watch like Scotty and Colin and
Adam
all
Scott.
these guys would
You
never
got to
be.
watch Adam. I think you hopped off into the bushes at some point. when
I
Adam
love
Scott,
watching Adam
a
Scott.
little hand below the table motion.
I love watching Adam Scott. I believe all those, yeah, I think I've thoroughly enjoyed that. Like to see the quality of talent here that I never see in totality at a Canadian Open. Like, yes, Rory plays because RBC probably gives him $1 million. It's
more than that.
Yeah, probably more. Tim, just to bring it about you because that's what people care about. He had his first regular Coke in
At least a year.
He was that like worked up today. He had to have all he needed the
My
sugar.
electrolytes were low.
Does Coke have electrolytes in
Sure
it?
it does. It's got salt and sugar. And, you know.
And I've seen the real life like 7:15 in the morning DC crack.
But you brought him the DCs.
Yeah, but
You set him up.
But I don't. Is that like? Yeah, I feel like you've told us that before. You drink
Sometimes.
morning DCs, and you bragged when Coke tweeted that you can have morning.
Yeah,
DCs.
morning DCs are a thing.
Who did you think played the best? I had my answer. I thought for the
I don't
international.
think it was Scotty. It was probably like, I was gonna say for the internationals, it was probably
I think it's Ben Ann.
He missed.
yeah. He definitely did play well.
He couldn't putt, but he was sticking everything.
Nobody could putt. None of those guys could putt.
None
That
of
wasn't
them
just
could
it. I saw
putt.
that already. The strokes gain numbers got posted. Did you guys talk about the fans at all though? That was one other thing. Okay.
we did. Well, I just said it seemed like there was way more U.S. fans than international fans.
There was for sure. I don't know what it is. Maybe because it's just so far away
It's
from all these
Thursday,
other
man.
places.
Yeah,
Thursday
well,
maybe.
You hit on it. Like, man, people come to South Korea to Montreal,
No.
Australia to Montreal.
No.
Like, when you isolate, and this is so close for American fans to come, they can drive here in 5 hours from upstate
And
New
the,
York.
our dollar's so shit. It's like a 35% off trip.
Yeah, like if you
So
want
they're
to
getting
try.
a discounted
that's
vacation to come here.
And it's no different. We looked at this before it started. When we went through which Ryder Cups were close, it was the ones in Australia and South Africa when there was an actual advantage for the international.
Got to put some jet lag on those
Yeah,
guys,
you
man.
need
But not
Yeah.
even that, just the fans can't travel there. Like, you inherently just have people like, no one's going to root for the fucking internationals there. They root for Pendrith.
So fans
and Connor,
matter.
and
Fans
Connors,
matter.
and
Tambo,
Scotty Scheffler.
Today went so bad they might have killed the fan that like if they could have done anything today, with Kenny telling me the event doesn't start till 1 o'clock on a Friday afternoon, the weather would be nice. Like, I feel like you'd see the fans maybe tomorrow, but it's already a dead issue. And I don't think you can blame the fans for literally.
I don't think it matters that much
not
either.
like they
Making
couldn't hit
five-footers.
a fucking putt. And if they hit putts, they probably rile up the fans.
But Tom Kim is talking shit, and Kenny was the only fan out there just pumping this guy up. I'm with him the whole time. Like, look at this hype, man. Tom Kim didn't even acknowledge him barely. I swear to God, don't talk shit if you ain't even gonna say what's up to the people that flew here, came in. You're acting like we're not there for you. That was really annoying. Like, honestly, I get they're getting bombarded all the time, but show them some love. You're up there chest bumping and flexing on Scotty Scheffler on 9 when there's an 18-hole match at hand, and you can't even say what's up to Kenny Kim out there pumping you up. Maybe he said what's up once. I don't know. But either way, my point would be they're not that into it either for the fans. We on like when they have to. We're like, let's get the crowd riled up on 1. No shit. I didn't see him anywhere else.
The first thing that we did, like when Tim and I got there, and Paul, we walked to 8 to that green, and guys were just sticking it. We were like, oh, and we were with I think it was the Ben Ann group. Yeah. Ben Ann, Scott, and we were like,
Bino stuck it to like a tap in.
Like everyone just, it was great. We were like, oh, we'll follow them up and we'll catch everyone on 9. It'll be awesome. So we get to the 9th green. We get this great vantage point. I saw the pic.
I said you were the same one. I was like, I see you. You see them. We're in the same spot.
So we're up there, and all we hear is just roars coming from 8. Every single group.
There were like 4 roars we didn't see because we went to 9.
But it was just, they were just flopping little wedges, I think, beside the pin.
They were, or making huge putts. But the good thing about 9 is we could watch the broadcast from up there, too.
Yes.
Another thing, it's what you said, too. It's on an island. It's all locals that are here. And again, they're not going nuts for the internationals. But I think, Jeff, you said it. What was the one at the end? They can't win. Like, literally, what's his name's into like 2 feet. I think Thigala had a 2-footer at the end. And our dude makes the putt, which Thigala now has to miss a 2-footer. But they went nuts. Like, we have the hole.
They were just
but
proud of...
But they just were happy he made a putt?
No,
It means
not
nothing.
happy they made a putt. They're just here to see golf shots.
Right.
Like,
So-
golf shots by great players more so than, like, A versus B. It's like, oh, that guy hit a 8-footer with a bend. We're gonna, like, yay. More so than,
Yeah,
like...
they just don't know the
but
format. They're not the same. Again, I
there
don't
were
expect
not
the same.
many, like, after, for a bit, I ended up by myself, was around, like, 11 and 12, and it was, like, embarrassingly empty. So I don't know that you could really blame the fans there more so than there weren't many people on property. I have some pictures today, like Greenside on 11. It's Hideki, Connors, Cantley, Burns. There's no one around me. I'm at the green.
Why does it start on Thursday?
Yeah. I was just gonna say too. No one's blaming the fans for how they play. I mean, it's the play is the play. It's the teams versus the team. It was why they were the favorite that they are. I'm saying when the golfers now like Tom Kim are calling out the fans, or when people are saying why isn't it like this at all, it's definitely we know why. The fans just aren't the same. I'm just calling what I see, the truth of it. That's the facts.
Will the U.S. have this one by Saturday?
Yes.
Yes.
By lunchtime Saturday.
That's brutal.
I don't know
and
about-
that kills ticket sales for them too. Like,
I don't know
that
about
means we
saying
don't have
that
to. That means we don't have to go on Sunday.
Yeah.
We can watch football all day.
We're doing the same hope tonight. When we sit around tonight and have our drinks and do whatever we do and start talking about, we're gonna sell ourselves.
No,
on.
no,
But
no.
this group could. But then what? Tomorrow's 8-2.
Oh no! Well,
Tomorrow's
Byron
8-2.
will have us tied 5-5 here going
These
into
guys, honestly, Pat.
Declared this
Over.
Yeah,
He
that's
was
fair.
right on day one already.
I mean,
Everyone else
that's
gives him
like-
shit. He owned us. He's the only one that sat around and said, "You guys are idiots."
Byron's
5-0.
back in.
No, but hold on.
5-0 internationals tomorrow.
But Pat, you know, I was there a bit longer. Byron and Kenny, you should have heard these guys. They're like, I still think it could be like 3.5, 1.5. I'm like, where are you finding these points?
It's happening.
They're just
4-1 tomorrow.
Oh, he's the miracle in Montreal. He's already.
The miracle. I'm gonna Ben Crenshaw there.
The Montreal Massacre has already begun.
I got
Get that name out of here. The Miracle, he says.
All right. Well, maybe we'll run this back again tomorrow after the rounds.
What do you think? You excited for your free lunch tomorrow?
I'm
and then
looking forward to the
snack
golf.
and-
The lunch was phenomenal, by the way.
It was the first
Slider story, great, but the lunch was
Lunch
actually
was
phenomenal
really good today.
Yeah.
better than the Super Bowl.
Yes. No doubt.
Better than the tasting menu last night?
Yeah, the short ribs were good. The boneless
I
short
wanna-
ribs.
Oh, sorry, I'm just gonna.
Are we still going, or you have something to show him off air?
Well, I don't really want to.
I'm
Like,
going to build
this
some
is how
NFL
empty it
lineups.
was.
There's
All right,
lots of
you're gonna
showdown to be
nobody
had.
do
Yes,
that.
let's go.
All right, that will do it for us. We'll be back tomorrow. Share the show around and enjoy all the content all week. I got some stuff up on Instagram right now. Maybe the TikToks a little bit later on. No, I'm not doing it. The team is doing it. But Mike took some of the best pictures I've ever
Oh, they
seen.
were phenomenal.
Did you see?
Yeah, because
Phenomenal.
Shout out, Mike.
well, that nice little vantage point on 9 put us
Photo of you.
gave us an Mike access to this great little walkthrough shortcut that it was for players only to take some beautiful shots. So that was great.
How mad were you that they have Mike Weir as the face of the international?
Mention that to him that you were annoyed, and then he mentioned it. I agree. with
There's
you.
no
The big
like,
poster.
the Ryder Cup would never have the huge posters wouldn't be the captains. Maybe if they were cool enough to do Phil versus Poulter ever, maybe, but it would always be players. So that's pretty frustrating. It was a great day. The weather was lovely. The golf shots were lovely. Got to watch Scotty Scheffler in person. Kenny and Byron though, they're like really invested or thought the internationals could win. So they have this like me or you, if the Jets or Chargers lose a game, we thought they could win vibe right now. And it's like, okay, man.
I mean, I know what that's like.
Yeah, but I would like coming into this to have that sort of like headspace. That's crazy.
You guys are calling people crazy. You too.
You know what? A lot of stuff has happened. Kemp's, I think, got some stories about me. I got
Honestly,
some stories
right now,
about him.
This is Team International, and this is Team USA right now for the vote.
What does that mean?
You've got a big lead right now, is what I'm saying.
That's impossible.
Yeah, but the viewers aren't seeing what you've seen all week.
Yeah, but we'll have an opportunity to recap.
I would actually.
You haven't woke up at 6 a.m. and mapped out your drive yet.
No.
And really been stressed about exit 52 or exit 50.
I don't like driving in a
52,
foreign.
by the way.
Yeah, today was 52. I crushed it. Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah, so XK. I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing. That's when I gotta go. It's like I gotta go. It's like a dad leaving for the airport. Like I gotta figure those things out. I don't driving in a foreign town where the signs aren't in English. It's it's unsettling. It's
not a foreign town. Just one about that. It's not a foreign town.
What do you mean not a foreign
It's
town?
not in a different country.
we are
You're
in
still in
Canada.
the same country.
Foreign. It feels foreign at times.
I mean, I know what he means.
Yes, but like,
Jeff, how impressed were you when I was breaking out Le Francais to the security guard?
I was ready to jump in.
Yeah, and Pat, like, I've seen it a few times. You like try to butter them up with the French. They
love
much
it.
nicer.
They love it. Just try a little bit. They love it. All right, that'll do it for us.
right.
We'll be back tomorrow for day 2. Maybe they'll be down 10-0, which means our Ben Ann and Corey Connors bets are still very live heading into the week. All right, thank you so much for watching. Share it around, smash the like, sub to the channel, and we're out of here.
Mayo experience. Experience.